I will begin right away because it's Sunday and I'm sure a lot of you would like to be anywhere but here. But thank you for being here.
Come on.
Let's
Come on, bro.
begin. Well, let me make this full screen and let's move on. All right, guys. We will be speaking about how we want to make interactions using Teams. We are actually going to discuss three different ways and then how to assign tasks to different breakout rooms or different meetings, let's say to each group, and then giving instructions, some tips about giving instructions before the per work or group work activities. And then we will have Q&A for those who have any questions. Tell me, can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
then let's move on. Let's move on. Well, let's go back to when I was a teenage. I really didn't like, to attend face-to-face sessions, let alone online sessions. Okay, so let's just understand them. They are like bored all the time, and let's say that they don't even know why they are bored, but they are that messed up, and yeah, it's hard. It's hard, especially coping with COVID, staying home, and quarantine and everything. So I don't want to bore you with this. This was just the beginning for us to know how important it is for them to do something first. I mean, they need to do something, and in English class, all they have to do is to speak. To make more interactions. Anything that can help that is welcomed. So let's go. The first thing that I usually do with my students is that I wake them up. You can wake them up any way that you like. I usually use a song, music, anything trendy, like a piece of music that they like. Let's say I don't make them do anything with that piece of music. At first, I used to do it because I was like, am I going to just play a song for them to listen to? And yeah, that's what we should do. I mean, my students start their sessions at 9 a.m. Some of them still, haven't had their breakfast yet. So what I do is that first I play a kind of music that they like, something motivational, something with a great beat. And then I dive into the lesson a little bit slowly. So now let's talk about the breakout rooms, because we don't want to waste any time here. The way, actually, I talked about this last night with Masood, and Masood told me about this because I actually didn't know about this. So I'm going to show you. And this is where you need to click when you open your Teams, and feel free to take screenshots of these slides that I am, presenting. Of course, at the end of the session, I am going to, upload this in our WhatsApp group, but you can, get screenshots if you want. So you need to click here on this icon, and then you will see these options. So from here, you can click on check for updates, and then you can update your Teams to be able to see this new icon, which is actually the breakout room icon. And this is exactly what your students need to do as well. I mean, I tested it with my students the other day, but some of them were in the breakout room, some of them weren't there. It was like chaos. I can only guess that they need to have their systems, like their tablets or their computers and everything, updated, especially their Teams. It is very important. And yeah, then they will be able to see this icon right here. You will see it and they will see it as well. I guess they will also be able to see it. I don't know if as students they will have this or not, but they definitely will have join room icon as soon as you create your breakout rooms. Now, so as soon as you click on this icon that I just showed you, you will see a page like this. You can create it automatically. Teams itself will, divide your students into different breakout rooms, but you need to, say how many breakout rooms you need. Like, is it going to be 2, 3, or 4? And I recommend with a class of maybe 16 or 17 like mine, go for 4 breakout rooms at least, because having less than that will make it a little bit overwhelming for shy students, and having like more students in one breakout room will make some of them stay as reserved as they usually are in our main meeting when we have all of the class in one place. So maybe 4 members for each team will be cool. The next thing is you can also use the manually version. So you can divide them manually to go into different breakout rooms. So you can decide who goes where. It is going to be a little bit more time consuming, and with our sessions being like 35 minutes, I personally don't recommend that. I recommend that you go with the automatically version, and then when they are in the breakout rooms, you can simply change their place when you need them to move into another breakout room. Now let me move on. Yeah, automatically, manually, and then this is what you will see in the end. I mean, as soon as you create the breakout rooms, you will have like 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms. You will see something like this. And as soon as you click on assign participants, you can assign them to different breakout rooms. Like room 1, for example, I want Zahra in room 1, or I want David in room 2, or whatever. And here, as soon as you click on this icon here, you will, here, I didn't have any participants in my class to take any pictures and screenshots for you. But if you have participants in your class, you will actually see like join in. An icon named as join in will be there for you to enter that breakout room and monitor your students. And I personally recommend that you monitor them pretty fast. I mean, as soon as you put them into breakout rooms and you start your breakouts, jump from one breakout room to the other one, start repeating your instructions over and over, because some of them are like, huh, what are we doing? What should we do? So even if you have written your instructions somewhere, or you have repeated it before you make them enter their breakout rooms like 100 times, it's okay. Just this is completely new to them. So go to different breakout rooms and pretty fast repeat your instructions. Check the leader, because sometimes it is very good for you to have a leader in each breakout room. I will tell you why it's necessary, but keep repeating your instructions, enter the breakout room, and then jump into the other breakout rooms and check if everybody is on the same page, doing what you want them to do. So yeah, this is the way that you can join in different breakout rooms. Let's move on. Yeah, this part is actually important too. In here, when you click on this icon right here, you will have rooms setting and recreate rooms. Definitely recreate rooms, it's obvious what it does, so I won't go into it. But with room settings, if you click here, you will actually see these 2 icons right here. And if you push the first one, automatically move people into open rooms, it says what it does. The second one is actually very important one. The let people go back to the main meeting. I can only guess, because this is completely new to me. I checked it with Masood and Aki last night. I'm not sure yet. So this is a big question mark for me. For now, I can say that this icon, if you click on it, it will, if they leave the meeting and come back to the meeting, it will lead them back to the breakout rooms, hopefully. I'm not sure really about this one, but let's say that you need to check this part before starting your breakout rooms. For now, this is all the information I can give you. Let's move on. But the thing is, if their team is not updated, you are definitely doomed. So now what, Sarvi? Let me tell you now what. Well, there is another way. Actually, I guess Gulnara teacher inspired me to go and find this one out. So thank you very much. This one is just creating channels. You know, you can simply create different channels by clicking here and then adding channels. You can add as many breakout rooms as you want. You will first see a message like this. You can name your channel as team 1, team 2, or breakout 1, breakout 2, or whatever you like. You can even, the good thing about this is that it has got a description part, so you can simply write the rules of each team for them. The rules that I usually tell them and I keep repeating for them, they have it written somewhere when they are working in the breakout rooms is, for example, your camera needs to be opened, your session is being recorded, so don't speak Turkish. And sometimes I even tell them how much time they have as soon as they enter the breakout rooms. So any kind of rules that you want them to, abide by, it's totally fine. Just write it here so that they can see it, or have it written somewhere else for them to see. There's no difference. The thing which is important is for them to have some rules. Don't let them go to the breakout rooms, without asking for something, without telling them about all of the rules that they need to abide by. So name it and then click on add. Then as you can see, you got it here, team 1, team 2. You can have as many teams as you want. And it looks just like, the first one, the general, page that you have with your students. You're just adding 2 or 3 other channels to your teams. And quick tip here, something which makes it clear for them. At first, it was like trial and error for me. So I just wrote team 1, team 2, team 3. But after some time, I understood that they wouldn't understand it, even if I tell them that, for example, Beryl, you're in team 1, or I don't know, Ahmed, you're in team 2. So I wrote the members of each team in the name part. Okay, I do recommend that you do the same, or they will be lost and they will not understand where they need to be, what they need to do. So yeah, this was my quick tip. Let's go old school because I couldn't do these 2 other options. So let me tell you what I did from the beginning of the first period, because there is a third way you can do this. So this is, as you can see here, I got like 4 different meetings. So I scheduled the meeting. I'm sure you all know how to do it, but I will show you anyway. If you click on this part, okay, you will see options like meet now and schedule a meeting. So you can schedule 4 different meetings, name them, okay, as you can see, the same process, okay, you can name the teams as team 1, team 2, team 3, just don't forget to mention the names of the members, all right, and then send. Now, how are we going to allocate different tasks in breakout rooms? Now we understand that there are like 3 different ways for us to make teams. I mean, using this feature of creating different teams on Microsoft Teams. Now let's see how we are going to assign different tasks in breakout rooms. But before we move here, do you have any questions so far, guys? Okay. So no questions. Let me move on. In all of these three ways, let's say Teams breakout rooms itself, or if you are scheduling a meeting, or if you're adding channels, you need to do something. You need to give them something to work on in their teams, in their groups. So imagine, let's say, this is the task I want them to do. Usually with RAS kids, every week I have this task for like once or twice with them. And they've read the book at home and they've done all of the things that they have on the platform. So in the class, they will get the chance to speak about it. As you can see, they've got the questions, the name of the book, and then the time that they have to discuss that. So I do recommend that you tell them, you show the time that they have on each slide. If you do that for each and every slide that you share with them, then after some time they will be used to it. They see it, they know exactly how much time they have, and they can manage it. And the key to success here is to be patient. I mean, in the beginning, it was like people were lost in different teams. When I asked them to go to team 1, I would see, for example, Ruweda in team 3 when she had to be in team 1, Jihan in team 4 when he had to be in team 2. So be patient with them. And remember that they are learning just like us. They are learning. With this new update, my recommendation for you is that when you want to test it, just like me, I told them, guys, it is a new adventure for us. So let's test this together. I don't know anything. I haven't tested it before. So let's do this together, and you're going to help me figure it out. And they actually felt nice about it. They were like, this is nice. We're doing something for the teacher. They were happy and excited to do that. So imagine that this is going to be our file. I have to share this with them somehow. I cannot tell them, okay, look at this photo, go to your breakout rooms and discuss it. Yes, there are options for us, like as soon as you enter the breakout room, as soon as you enter the meeting, you can share PowerPoint. But just imagine if I have like 4 different breakout rooms. I am going to send them to the breakout rooms, and then I am going to enter each breakout room and upload a PowerPoint or a photo. It is going to be damn too much time consuming. So the thing that I can do here is that I can click on print a screen, open my file, click on print a screen, and then come here on your main page, click on new conversation, and then Control V, you can click on, you can push on these 2 keys and then push send. Then they will see something like this. As you can see right now, they've got 2 photos that they are supposed to, speak about in their breakout rooms, or you can simply send the PPT file. I usually do that. The thing which is important is that my students are used to it. I mean, they've done it for one whole period, and right now we are in period 2, so I can assign like 2 or 3 different speaking activities in one PPT file to them. But if your students are new to this, do it one task at a time. Okay, let's first 1 photo. Okay, let them start working on it. When they are done, take them back to the main meeting, speak about it, give feedback, and then give them another picture, another photo to discuss. As soon as you felt like your students are stronger, you can go with PPT files. You can have like 2, 3 different tasks for them to work on. Why not? With weaker streams, I don't recommend that. But with the stronger ones, you can definitely go for it. Why not? And yes, at the end, when you did this, you need to teach one of your students how to share their screen. This student will be the leader of that team. So be careful when you're dividing your students into different teams. You need to know your students well. Have one a strong one doer in your team, and make that one the leader. Say, okay, for example, Jihan, you're supposed to share your screen, and you're supposed to, share this with everybody so that they can see it and you can start speaking about it. So this is how you can make them, work with different assignments, different tasks, as soon as they move into their breakout rooms. So let's review together the things that are very, very important for us. The first one we said is naming the teams. Don't forget to name your teams, because it's very important. You don't want them to get lost. You don't want them to start nagging like, teacher, I don't know where our group is. And ask them not to create, if they are using the third option, what I am doing. Okay, if you're scheduling different meetings, ask them to avoid creating a new meeting. Like, what do they call it in Turkish? They say toplantı or something. I'm not sure. Don't ask them not to do it, because the other students will be lost. Ask them to find their meeting and then join in. Find their name, find their meeting, and then join in. Not to create new team meetings, because if they do that, they're gonna get lost. The next thing I said, I actually told you, one task at a time. If you want to have clear instructions, if you want to just start this thing with your students, try to avoid pretty complicated tasks for them to do. Maybe just 2-3 questions, a photo, and then everybody go and join your breakout room, join your meeting, and start to speaking about it. One leader to share their screen and to check everybody. Remember to tell your leader what to do. The leader is going to be like you in that meeting. And believe me, it's okay. Nothing bad is going to happen. Trust them, because learners' autonomy is something that really works here. I mean, if you trust that person to be like the mini teacher in that group, it goes a long way, especially for data students. He or she feels like really responsible. I am doing something really important. Yes, it does have some drawbacks as well. I mean, like, some of them keep saying, teacher, I don't want to be the leader. It's too much responsibility. I mean, 2 or 3 of them once told me. And it does have a remedy. If they said something like this, tell them, I don't care who is the leader. I want somebody in this team to share their screen and everybody to start speaking. So you can do that as well. Yeah, I know I can become strict from time to time, but that was the only way. I mean, I was faced with some students that none of them really wanted to become the leader. So this is what I did. I told them, I don't care who is the leader, just go to your breakout room and start speaking. And magically, you will enter the breakout room and you will see that one of them starts, sharing his or her screen. And the thing which is nice is that usually when you take them back to the main meeting, they start giving feedback after some time. They start saying like, teacher, Rubeda is not speaking. I tried a lot. She doesn't open her microphone. She doesn't open her camera. We really don't want them to tell on each other. But, something like this, a feedback like this will make the ones that are really shy to speak more after some time. And yes, I don't want them to speak Turkish with each other when they move into the breakout rooms. I keep telling them, but with very weak students, I mean, even if somebody tells something in Turkish, I mean, something that he or she, the weak one, I mean, has been struggling with for so long and hasn't understood, then that's okay. Let them do it. I mean, as long as they are making interactions with each other, I think it's all right for them to do that. And I told you about repeating instructions. The other thing that I forgot to mention was always check with your leader, okay? If you are scheduling teams, if you are scheduling different team meeting for their group work and pair work activities, tell the person that is the leader to, as soon as they enter the meeting, start inviting the other members, not to wait for them to join. For example, Jihan, as soon as you went to the breakout room, invite the other ones and start speaking. Sometimes I do that myself. I mean, I tell Jihan, but then I do that myself as well. I mean, I enter the breakout rooms as soon as they started, and I start inviting everybody in, even when they know where they are and what they need to do. Repeat your instructions. I told you to trust the learner's autonomy. Yes, they can do it. If you believe they can do it, they can. They will be able to do it. Yes, I haven't had like lower levels in this school yet, so there are some things that I may not understand. But I actually tested this with Shadi's class as well. It was a little bit harder for me, but it worked. I mean, after 2 or 3 times, they started finding a way to talk to each other, and they were actually more relaxed when they were in those breakout rooms with me. And in the main meeting, some of them, I mean, I wouldn't even hear their voice. I didn't know how they looked like, but I went into the team, I mean, different teams, and I said, oh my God, she has opened her camera and her microphone is speaking. So that was fine. I was happy. So I didn't ask her any questions in the main meeting as long as she was talking in the other teams. And about having leaders, I told you what the problem could be and what the remedy is. Remember to get feedback. Don't let them be. I mean, when they are finished in one, like let's say that they have finished one task in their breakout rooms, as soon as they come back, right now my students know it, I mean, by heart. They know that when they come back, they need to give me feedback. If they have answered some questions, they need to give me the answers, or they need to email something to me. I am still not that well with OneNote. I'm struggling. I'm learning, okay? But I mean, with my weaknesses working with OneNote, my students now know that they need to email everything to me. I mean, as soon as they are done in their meetings, the leaders will automatically do this, send whatever they have done, either on OneNote or on the PowerPoint. They will either send me the PPT file or whatever they have been working on, the result, to my email. And then we will speak about that. So don't forget to get feedback from them so that they understand how important it is for them to give you feedback, how important the tasks that they do in the breakout rooms are. The other thing, in an ideal world, we will want the last item of this slide, which is the delayed error correction. Like, for example, you have been monitoring your breakout rooms. You have heard some, let's say, problems with the target language. Like, for example, if you have taught them third person singular S, she goes to school, and some of them, for example, in the breakout room are saying she go to school, you have written on your whiteboard or Word or whatever file that you have, and you keep the errors, you keep the mistakes in there. And as soon as they come back to class, you will show it to them, all of the things that they are misusing, I mean, with the target language. This is again something that I'm struggling with because I have a lot of students in my class, like 17 students, so it's a little bit hard for me to keep track of all of their errors. But sometimes when 1 or 2 sentences are repeatedly used wrongly in their teams, I write it down, and when they come back, okay, I show the sentence to them. I say, okay, can you find the problem here, everybody? So they say, yeah, teacher, she goes to school. So again, repetition, everybody, she goes to school, she goes to school, she goes to school, she goes to school, and then they are done with it. And we can say that they understand that they need to, be careful with the target language. So I think I am done. I tried to make it as quick as possible.